Joe, it's a third place playoff match against Atletico Madrid this afternoon. How much are you looking for a response from your side?
Yeah, I think it's important that we do. It's tough to have a couple of days after a heavy defeat. But the beauty of it is there's always another game, and to have another game so quickly afterwards can always help you. Because it means you've got to get over it quite quickly. You've got to look towards the next game. You've got to plan effectively. So not a lot of time on the grass, but we've done what we can. We're preparing for another excellent team. So it's another very good test for us, and we're very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, you just talk about preparing for the team the best you can. What are you expecting from Atletico Madrid today?
Well, we know they like to possess the ball as well. So, they're going to be looking to take control of the game that way. We've made a few little changes, looking even personnel-wise in the team, little bits of tweaks tactically. But that's what this is all about. It's testing yourselves in those moments and seeing what we can do differently and trying to do it a little bit better. So, we thought that we were a little bit maybe too defensive in our shape. I mean, our shape was excellent, but there's got to be times where we've got to get out of it. We've got to be able to push the opposition and give them something to think about. So we're looking to be a little bit more effective in the forward areas today, a tiny bit more aggressive out of possession. So it'll be a good test. It'll open the game up a little bit more, I guess, but that's where we've got to test ourselves defensively as well. But we've got to make sure we're trying to take something to the opposition.
You took on a Spanish side in pre-season, of course, in Levante. Do you think that might give the team a little test, a flavour of what you might expect today?
Yeah, definitely. Typically when you're playing against a Spanish team, that they're not going to, play long balls, play into channels, play over your head a lot, so you can be a little bit more aggressive on your high line. But as I watched the game against Rosenborg the other day, Atletico were chasing the game a little bit and went a little bit longer. So, we do know they have that to their game. They've got some good size in their team and good aerial ability. So we've got to be wary of that. So we've got to have a good balance of, being aggressive and being high up the pitch, as opposed to, being careful of the threat that they've got in behind, because they will play it more than majority of Spanish teams do. So, it's something for us to be wary of, but it's a really good test. We've got to try and mix our game up a little bit and try and go out there and put on a better performance than what we did the other day. Yeah,
and just lastly, you mentioned want to see attacking qualities from your side. Is that mainly the message to the team?
Yeah, well, no, it's finding a fine balance. I thought our shape was excellent the other night. We've analysed it. It was very difficult for Arsenal to break us down at any point. We give up long balls and wide balls and then didn't quite mark properly in the box, and that was our undoing. But you see that they didn't break us down. They weren't the fluid arsenal of combinations in and around the box and 1-2s around you. Did some really good skills and finishing. So, I think we've got to pride ourselves on that work that we did, because we were absolutely excellent for the majority of that. But it's building on that. We can't quite be happy of going. Structurally we were great, but you lose a heavy loss like that, so it doesn't quite add up. So you've got to make sure we're throwing some punches the other way. We've got to make sure that we're trying to do our way. It's never easy when you're trying to build a team to play a certain way and then come up against the level of opposition that we did. But it's all learning. We've got to make sure we take it on board, use it today, make sure we use it wisely, and try and come out with a better performance and a result.